Hello and welcome back to Speedrun, the fast talking video game podcast where we talk about pretty much anything we want that's video game related. I, of course, am Jamie, and Jazzie is taking care of an unexpected personal thing today, which is totally understandable and valid. So it's just me and our guest, the one and only Editor Trey.
Hey, how's it going? This is a
Trey,
podcast. No one's gonna say hi back.
I mean, people might say hi in like the comments on Podbean.
Say hi back in the comments.
Please say hi back in the comments or by emailing me at jamie@stuffweplay.com.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, put
So
the
Trey,
email out there.
You
what's up?
are a YouTuber.
I am, yes.
You are, well, an editor. In fact, you've edited a good deal of stuff on my channel.
Yep, I've edited a lot of videos, that's for sure.
Yeah,
In total.
commissioned, mind you. Don't make people try to work for free or for exposure or whatever. That's shitty.
Yeah, I get money for this. It's a good deal.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, I get a friendship and also money.
And like we go for lunch whenever I'm like in Sydney. It's nice.
Yeah, we go for lunch as well. It's like a business meeting, but like also like, not. You just frame it that way so that the waiter thinks you're cool. I'm like, oh, this is a very important business meeting, you know, so just leave us be and stuff. And then we're like, all right, so like butts, yeah, and then and then we agree.
Yeah.
What's our topic today?
So today's topic is we are talking about the Nintendo GameCube.
Oh, I love that console.
I love that system. Everyone's favorite system that's not the Xbox from 2001.
It's pretty similar, though. Similar shape. Similar shape.
I mean, you know, one's a box, one's a cube. You know, I think it's a really special thing, having a system that you can lug around like a lunchbox.
It is, yeah, because, you know, when I would go to school, there, you know, everyone would bring their lunches, and they would eat and have sustenance for the day, but I would just bring my little GameCube with me. And pretty much I'd be set. At lunchtime, I'd just play GameCube. And I'd say, no, I'm good. I don't need food. I have my GameCube, thanks.
You joke about that, but technically that was an option if you got one of those third-party, like, attachable GameCube screens.
Yeah, there were actually people who did that at my school. We had, like, a few good people who just brought GameCubes and then just hooked them up to the TVs in one of the media rooms. It was kind of awesome.
I remember when I was in elementary school, there was one kid who always brought, like, he'd always find an outlet during lunch or whatever because he had one of the PS1s with the flip-top screen.
I never knew anyone with the flip-top screens. They just seemed like... I didn't know about those until recently. I was like, oh... Like, I heard about them at the time. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, I don't think that should work. We shouldn't be able to play console game on the go. But now I'm like, oh, okay. It makes... You just put in the wall power. Yeah, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like the Switch has really normalized that. But anyways, I'm going to start the timer because we're talking about something very particular with the GameCube, and that's the best games on the GameCube.
Oh. All right.
So, I know last year you really started experimenting with Dolphin, which, if any Nintendo lawyers are listening, you can use original discs with Dolphin.
That I definitely do.
Yeah.
For the legal record, that is what I do. Definitely don't output to 4K.
Well, I mean, you can output to 4K using original discs.
Can you? I mean, yes, yeah. I know. That's what I've been doing.
That said, you've been playing some of the classics. Like, I remember one of the big ones is you were talking to me, you were like, Jamie, it's like Thousand Year Door is amazing.
Yeah, so I never had any interest in it because I was like, oh, yeah, it seems kind of overhyped. Because I've heard everyone talking about it, and my friend was like, okay, no, you have to play it right now. I'm going to sit here and watch you. And I was like, okay. And then I actually really enjoyed it. It was like, it seems like because I never grew up with it, so hearing people who grew up with it talk about it, it kind of sounded to me like when people have a fondness for something, it's like that nostalgic, like, oh, no, this was the way that... It's like things were so much better then. It was so different and awesome, and that's because I grew up with it. But no, like it legitimately was like a different time for video games. was a weird air around all the GameCube games where everything was kind of experimental, and it's like you can see the roots of where everything like Nintendo today came from. There's still a little bit of that, but you can kind of see where everything came from.
I think that's really interesting to say as well. I know for me, one of the big things people are like, oh, Pokemon X and Y are so important because they're the first 3D Pokemon games, or Pokemon Sword and Shield are the first Pokemon games that look good in 3D. And I'm like, did none of y'all play Pokemon Coliseum or RAR XD Gale of Darkness?
Yeah, like there's always been something there's always like a bigger fish, I guess.
Yeah, those games are great, by the way. Like, a lot of people didn't like where it's like the thing where it's like, oh, you can't catch wild Pokemon. You gotta steal other people's Pokemon. But I'm like, that's actually really cool. I kind of like that. You should do that again, Nintendo. Or Game
yeah, the
Freak.
stealing was the coolest part. Like, I honestly didn't even care that you couldn't catch like any wild Pokemon, because it's like when I play a Pokemon game, I already pretty much know who I'm gonna catch at this point. So it kind of feels like if you're gonna make it seem like I'm cool while I'm doing it, like, go ahead, by all means, make me steal.
Actually, it was cool because in XD they did add in wild battles, but you had to like lure Pokemon in by setting up Pokesnacks, and it's fun until partway through the game when you unlock the ability to encounter Munchlax, and sometimes you'll show up and you can't catch Munchlax because Gen 4 wasn't out yet. He'll just eat all your like Poke Spot snacks.
That's an awesome mechanic.
I just came to hate that Munchlax so much.
But he's so cute. Munchlax is the cutest.
He is cute.
He's eats
very
until
cute.
He's fat, and then that's it.
And then he evolves.
Yeah.
And then he sleeps.
He's got like the best life. He's born to eat, forced to sleep.
He's a Pokemon born of gluttony.
Yeah, like he literally is born, and then he's like, all right, I'm going to literally eat everything, and then when I'm done, then I will rest for 1,000 years.
Hear me out. In an alternate timeline, he evolves into Guzzlord.
That could like, because Guzzlord's an Ultra Beast. Maybe that's the lore there.
Yeah, and for those out of the loop of Pokemon, because I know I talk with a lot of folks who are excited for the Diamond and Pearl remakes because they haven't touched the series since the DS, and I don't blame them. Guzzlord literally consumes every bit of matter in its path. Like, it just will not stop eating, to such a point where in Ultra Sun Moon, you can go to a planet that's literally destroyed because of how much crap it's eaten.
Yeah. Snorlax also just still eats, even when it sleeps, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't actually know. Anyways, GameCube games.
GameCube
that's one of
games.
Them. That was
that's
one of them. Was the Pokemon ones. Those are really good. I really enjoyed those. I think the best games are the ones that like immediately come to mind. I feel like everyone's kind of waiting for like that secret hidden gem that's like, this was the best game on the GameCube, and no one ever played it. But like, if it was really that good, everyone would have played it, you know?
Actually, there is one hidden gem I have in mind, and I feel like it's a good segue from Pokemon.
Yes, go ahead.
Have you ever heard of Cubivore?
I have not, no.
So Cubivore is a game, the aesthetic reminds me of Happy Birthdays or Birthdays of Beginnings, if you've played those games.
I haven't played those either, but you can explain.
You're basically going through this world of all these cube-based creatures. I think, here, let me go through it. It's literally has the subtitle Survival of the Fittest, and let me just read the Wikipedia thing real quick.
Yeah, that will give me a good idea. Thank you, Wikipedia. Not sponsored.
Cubivore's gameplay is an action-adventure game with a few role-playing game elements to it. The purpose is to kill the killer Cubivore and its cronies. To accomplish this, the player's Cubivore must go through several mutations, through several lifespan lapse, and generations of offspring. Upon obtaining 100 mutations, the Cubivore can become powerful enough to produce an offspring capable of fighting the killer Cubivore. Thus, Cubivore is a game that is meant to somewhat represent natural selection. So think of Pokemon meets Spore.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It sounds kind of like Spore. That's cool.
It was published by Atlas, and it's like hundreds of dollars if you ever come across a copy, and it's been like that for like a decade now because it was a very low print run.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the problem with like games that don't sell well, is they just didn't print any because no one was buying them.
Yeah, like this one in Chibi Robo, right?
Yeah. Man, Chibi Robo is a good game too.
Chibi Robo is amazing. I mean, I feel like we need to mention the obvious games, so like your Mario Sunshines, your Melee.
Luigi's Mansion was a great intro to the console.
I really do like Linguini's Maison.
Yeah, it's a pretty good game. I think it was kind of what's like when you think about the launch, like it was Luigi's Mansion wasn't even supposed to come out. It was supposed to be like a tech demo, wasn't it? And then they're like, okay, well, we got to get the GameCube out. We'll just take what we have, and that's the game. But I think it also kind of set the tone as like, this is not like our standard Nintendo console with Mario. This is the Luigi console.
It's the year of Luigi, baby.
Yeah. And then they did another year of Luigi where they just put his face in secret spots in some places.
But you know, it really is true because the GameCube was the worst selling. Well, no, I take that back. It was the second worst selling console that generation, rip Dreamcast. But it had such a unique identity, you know? And maybe it is because you got all the Nintendo staples. You know, we got both a good Star Fox game and a bad Star Fox game. We had an F-Zero game made by Sega, and it was the last time we ever got an F-Zero game, which is a shame because F-Zero GX is freaking great.
They need to make another one. Everyone was thinking they would when the Switch launched because of the racing game that came out with it. What was it called?
Fast RMX?
Yeah, that one.
Well, and also they added all the F-Zero tracks, or not all of them, but you know, the few into Mario Kart, which by the way, Mario Kart Double Dash on GameCube and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch, both are freaking fantastic.
I just played Double Dash recently. I enjoyed it a lot. Even just the single player. I haven't played with friends yet.
One thing I should probably do a video on or sometime is I actually still have the bonus disc that you got for pre-ordering it back in the day.
Ooh.
And
What's
it's funny
on
because
that?
I didn't. I'm not sure. Here, I'm going to look this up real. You see, I should mention as well, I didn't pre-order the game. I got a bundle and somehow also got the disc with it for Christmas one year. Double Dash bonus disc. Alright, so what's in here? There we go. It has playable demos from Mario Party 5, F-Zero GX, the TMNT game, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3, and Sonic Heroes. I remember. I remember that.
The demo disc one, yeah.
And it also has, I didn't realize this, but if you connect it to a GBA Vita link cable, you get a Fire Emblem game.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of extra steps, though.
It is, but we are at time. Are there any last thoughts you'd like to add on the GameCube?
I think that it is really fun to play, and I like playing games on the GameCube.
A lot of boys bought the GameCube to quote hard for games.
Yeah, that's a good quote. I think we can end on that. That's a good one.
I think we can end on that.
Yeah, that was awesome. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Kirby Air Ride. That's a good
Kirby
stuff.
Air Ride. That's a good one.
Kirby Air
we'll
Ride.
end on that. Kirby Air Ride.
Yeah. So on that note, Trey, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter at Trey_JPEG, JPG. Same with on YouTube. Instagram, you have to add an E, make it JPEG, because someone took my freaking name. And yeah, same with Twitch. That's the JPG. You can find me on YouTube. And then YouTube, I also have TBazeTV. So quite a few places you can find me. And, you know, if you can't remember that, you can just go back in the timestamp and listen to me say it again.
So on that note, Speedrun is made possible in part by Podbean. If you would like some podcast hosting of your own from a really great place that will put your podcasts out not just on their own app, but also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more. There's just some of the platforms you can find Speedrun. Then definitely check out Podbean by going to podbean.com/speedrun or using the code SPEEDRUN at checkout to help out the show. In addition, even if she isn't here, Jazzie does edit these episodes as part of
Cleveland Audio Mixology.
So they do a fantastic job and help make this show possible. If you have ideas for future episodes, definitely email me or her at jamie@stuffweplay.com or jazzie@stuffweplay.com, or help support us via Patreon, because we are part of Stuff We Play at patreon.com/stuffweplay. So on that note, thank you very much for watching, or listening I should say. Stay classy, and I'll see you next time.